Welcome to this lecture, JavaScript Essentials Required for React. In this lecture, we are going to understand one more important method of arrays, that is reduce method. So we are having three higher order methods. We have map, we have reduce, and we have filter. And these are called as functional array methods. And using these methods, whatever operations we are going to perform, it is not going to change our original array. So in our last two lectures, we have understood about map method and also we have seen how filter method will be working. Now in this lecture, we are going to completely understand about reduce method. We will be seeing some examples and also we will be creating our reduce method by taking the reference of normal function. So first we will write the code in normal function and then the same function we are going to convert using reduce method. Now by the name itself, you might understand what it is going to do. It is going to reduce something, but actually it is not. Let me tell you using one example. So suppose imagine there is one playground which is having full of snow, and when children are playing here, what they will be doing? They will be taking small snowballs, they will be merging up and they will be making a big snowball. Okay, not only this, if you have not played with snow, even I have not played, you can take an example of mud. Whenever we go for a beach, we will take small rounds of mud, we will combine and we will be making a big hut. So similarly, what reduce method will be doing, it will be taking all the elements of the array one by one. It is going to take all the elements of the array present here. Then if I just want to add, what it will be giving me the result? It will be giving me 20 as the result. It will add all the elements and it will be generating 20 as my result. So basically, it is combining all the values of an array and we are getting one final result. So here, when we see the answer, it is not going to reduce anything, but from that array, it is taking all the elements and it is giving us one huge big answer. So basically, the name reduce is confusing, but still you should understand using reduce method, we are combining all the array methods and we are generating one big result. And it is not going to affect the original array. So there is no concept of reducing any elements inside the array. So this is how reduce method will be working. If I add more snow to this snowball, it keeps on increasing its size. In similar way, reduce method will be working. Whatever operations we are going to perform, it will not be changing our original array. So in JavaScript, reduce method is nothing but it is used to execute a reducer function that we are going to provide on each element of an array. So for map also we have seen and for filter also we have seen. So for every callback, our current element of the array will pass and the operation will be performed. Similarly, in our callback function, that is in our reducer function, one by one, we are going to pass array element as its current element and then we are going to generate a single output value. So basically, reduce method will be returning a single value, which is nothing but accumulated result of operations. So if I want to add, I will be getting the result. If I want to multiply, I will be getting the result. So for every callback, it will be taking array element as its current element and it will be doing the operation and it will be generating one final result. And this is the syntax of reduce method. We will be writing our array dot reduce and this reduce is taking two parameters. And this is the complete syntax. Now our first parameter is our callback function. Okay, this is my entire function. And this first parameter of reduce method is having four parameters. We are having accumulated, current value, current index and array. We already know what is current value and also we have seen about current index and also we have seen example of array. But we are not sure what is this accumulator that we are going to see in a minute. And second parameter of reduce method is our initial value. So let us understand. So this accumulator, what it will be doing? It will accumulate the callback's return value. So whatever initial value I will be giving, that will be the first accumulated value. And based on the operations which we have given, according to that, accumulated value will be calculated. And current value is nothing but the current element which is being processed in the array. On current index, we have already seen the index of the current element on which the callback function is getting executed. This is optional. And this array, the array on which we are working, so this is also optional. And initial value, second parameter of reduce method. This initial value is also optional. And this is nothing but value which is used as a first argument to the first call of a callback function. So whatever value I give here, that value will be given to our accumulator as its first value. If we do not give this initial value, as it is mentioned, this is optional. So what happens? Our first element present inside the array will be taken as the first value for accumulator. And our current value will be starting from second element of an array. So if you want to do any comparison, if you want to find any maximum number, then first element will be given as accumulator and second element will be taken as current value. So using this, we can easily compare elements. Maybe this is confusing, but once we start writing example, then you will see how powerful reduce method is, and also it is one of the most important array method in JavaScript. So practically, let us start with reduce method. I have opened my Visual Studio Code and also I have opened the file in the browser, and this is my console. Now first, let us understand one simple example using normal function. Now, I will be creating one array. Inside this, I will just give some values. Now what I want to do, I just want to add all the elements present inside the array. So first, let us understand using normal function. Then we are going to reduce using reduce method. How we are going to write normal function? I will write function. I will give my function name as some array. Inside this, I will be taking one parameter array. Now here, what we should be doing? We should be looping for every element present inside the array. For looping, let me just write here for loop. Inside this, I will just take I is equal to 0. Then I is less than array dot length. So whatever parameter I am passing, that array dot length, how many length I am having, I am just checking. If it is less than that, only then for loop will be executing. After every iteration, I just want to increase the value of I. I assume you are aware how for loop will be working. Now inside this, we are just going to write the logic to add all the elements present inside the array. Before that, below this function, I will be creating one variable and I will assign the initial value as 0. Initial value is important. Now here, I will be writing sum is equal to sum plus. I will just copy this array parameter, and here inside this I'm just going to write I. So what happens on first iteration, our I is 0. So array of 0, that is nothing but 1, and 0 plus 1, because sum's initial value is 0. 0 plus 1, then sum will be assigned to 1. Then again on next iteration it will be happening. Now my sum is 1, but array of 1 is 2. So 1 plus 2, 3. Now current value of sum will become 3. So similarly, it keeps on going. And my array length is, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My array length is 6. As soon as my I reaches 5, okay, because index is 5, it will be running. But again, as soon as my I reaches 6, this condition fails. I will come outside of this for loop. Now after this, I just want to return sum. Okay, if you want, you can do console as well, but we have already learned about functions. Whenever we are returning something from a function, it is returning some value. So when I call this function like this, and inside this, I'm just going to pass my array variable. This is my parameter. You can give any name. Whatever name you are giving, accordingly, you have to change inside the function. But inside this argument, I am passing my array variable, which I have created here. I will save this. Now if I refresh, it is not going to give me any results. Why? Because when I call this function, it has executed this entire thing and it is returning me some value. So that value I should be storing in one variable. I will just write here const. I will just create the variable as sum. Now if I want to see the result, I just have to log sum. Save it. Now you can see I got the result as 21. So each and every iteration, it will be adding all the elements of the array based on this current value of sum, and we will be getting the result. Now if I have not given this current value, I will be getting this reference error, cannot access sum before initialization. Here I am trying to display this sum, but sum is not there. I have not given any value to sum. So that is the reason I am getting this error, cannot access sum before initialization. So it is important to give initial value in this normal function. Now let us convert same function using reduce method. I will comment this out. This is my array. Below this I will be pasting, and here I will just write one comment using reduce method. And this was using normal function. So for reduce method, what we will be doing, first we will be creating one variable. I will just give my variable name as sum. Okay, same variable I will be giving is equal to, we should be writing our array. You can give any name, dot reduce method, and this reduce method is taking two parameters, first parameter and second parameter. And first parameter is nothing but it is a callback function. So what we can do, I will just write my callback function name as sum array. Okay, simple. And second is initial value. Initial value for this sum, what we have given 0. So here also I will be giving 0. Okay, simple. First, I have written callback function, and second value, that is our accumulator, I have given the value as 0. Now I have to create this sum array function. I will come above this. I will be creating sum array function, and inside this we can pass four parameters: our accumulator, current value, index and array. Index and array we are going to see later, but inside this I'm just going to pass accumulator, and then I am going to pass current value. Now what I have to do, we have already seen in our syntax, whatever initial value we give here, that will be assigned to our accumulator. So here in this example, when we compare to normal function, this accumulator will be treated as this sum variable, and this current value will be treated as this one, this array of I. So let me write here, this accumulator will be treated as sum variable, and this current value will be treated as this array element. Okay, on each and every iteration, we will be having one element inside this. So this is how it will be treated. So here what we have done, sum is equal to sum plus array of I. So here inside this function, what we should do, accumulator is equal to accumulator plus current value. Okay, simple. Do not get confused what we have mentioned, but this is how we are going to work. And finally, after performing all this, what we have written? We have written sum. So from here, what we should return? We should return our accumulator. So this is our simple callback function. Using this, we have performed all this calculation. Now I will just log sum Save it. Again, I got the result as 21. Why I got 21? Let us understand this again. So here, first I have created my array, and inside that I have just passed my reduce syntax. So inside reduce method, we will be passing two parameters. First will be our callback function, and second is our initial value, which will be passed to the accumulator. Here separately, I have created this callback function. This callback function will be taking four parameters: accumulator, current value, index, and array. Now when we compare with normal function, this accumulator will be treated as sum because we have assigned initial value to sum, and here also we got initial value accumulator as 0, and current value is nothing but on every call, and this callback function will be called for every element present inside the array. So here I am having 6 elements, so 6 times this callback function will be called. So on first call my current value will be 1, on second call my current value will be 2, and it keeps on going. So using this we are performing first time my accumulator will be 0 and my current value will be 1. So 0 plus 1, my current value of accumulator becomes 1. Again it is going to run, again this callback function will be called. Why? Because I am having remaining elements inside the array. Now my current value is 2 and my accumulator value is 1. So 1 plus 2, now current value of accumulator becomes 3. Now current value is 3 and also accumulator value is 3. So 3 plus 3, I will get the result as 6. So it keeps on going until it reaches here. Now my current value becomes 6 and accumulator value becomes 15 after adding all these things. Then finally, after adding, we will get the result as 21 and we are returning accumulator from this callback function. And when we call this sum function, we got the result as 21. So this is how we are going to write normal function, and this is how we are going to write our reduce function. Now what I want to do, let me just comment this one. Again I will copy. Below this I will be writing another way. Paste. Now inside this callback function, instead of writing this function name, what I can do, I will remove this. Directly entire function I am going to copy, and inside this I am just going to paste. You can see this is my first parameter callback function, and this is my second parameter, that is my initial value. So whatever initial value I have given, that will be assigned to this accumulator. So we can also use add assignment operator. Instead of writing like this, I can write plus equal to. So it is exactly same as previously whatever we have written, this one, it is exactly same as this. Now again if I save, I will be getting the result as 21. Now let us see if we don't give this initial value, what happens. I will copy. Below this I will be pasting. I will write one comment, no initial value. Remove this second parameter. Save it. Again we got 20. Why? Because here we have not assigned any accumulator value. So first time when this function is getting called, accumulator 1 will be assigned to this first element present inside the array, and current value will be the second element present inside the array. So let me just log and show you. I will just log accumulator, log. I will just copy this, and inside this I'm just going to paste. Save. You can see first time accumulator is 1 and my current value is 2. After getting added, my accumulator becomes 3, and on second call, my current value becomes 3. After adding this, my accumulator becomes 6, then my current value becomes 4. After adding, my accumulator becomes 10, my current value becomes 5. After adding, my accumulator becomes 15, my current value becomes 6. And finally, I will be getting the result as 21. So you should remember initial value is optional inside reduce method. But in most of the cases, we will be passing initial value to perform our calculation. Now let us convert this same function into arrow function comment. I will just copy this one. Below this, I will be writing one comment. I will just write arrow function using arrow function. So for arrow function, what we will be doing? We will be removing this. We do not need. And also, we do not need this function keyword. We will remove. And here we have passed two parameters, accumulator and current value. Here I will be writing this arrow symbol and it is going to give me this result. And we are performing this operation, and second parameter also we have passed, which will be given to accumulator. I will save. Again, I will be getting the result as 21. This is how we are going to compare normal functions and functions written using reduce method. Now let us pass our third parameter and fourth parameter. I will copy this. Below this, I am going to paste, and here I will write use third and fourth parameter. Okay, for which we are having third and fourth parameter. For first parameter present inside the reduce method, and the first parameter is nothing but fallback function. So inside this, we have already passed our two parameters. Next parameter, I'm just going to write here index, and fourth, I will just write here array. Now here below this, I will just write log. I will be writing index, and what I have to display, I just have to display my index parameter. Similarly, here I am just going to write array, and I will be displaying my array parameter. Save it. You can see first time my index is 0 because whenever my callback function is called, my current value will be this one. So that is the reason my index is 0. If I don't give this initial value, my index will be starting from 1. Save it. You can see my index will be starting from 1. Why? Because my current value is 2 now. But my accumulator is 1. But my current value is 2. So that is the reason my index will be starting from 1. Let me give initial value. Save it. Again, my index will be starting from 0. These are some of the examples, and you should be understanding completely from the start. Next, we are going to work with our cartoon data example. I have pasted my cartoon data. Inside this, I am having array. Inside this array, I am having two objects. So whenever we are writing reduce method for current value, first time my first object will be the current value. Second time, my second object will be the current value. Why? Because these are the elements present inside the array. So this is my first element and this is my second element. For this, I will be having index 0, and for this, I will be having index 1. So first time, my current value will be this. Second time, my current value will be this entire object. Now what I want to do, I just want to sum all the episodes, and also I want to find maximum number of episodes. Here I am having episodes property. First time, what I want to do, I just want to sum these episodes, and I should be getting the result as 710. And after that, I should be finding maximum of episodes. From this both values, which is maximum? My ID second is maximum, so I should be getting this result. First time, I should be doing the addition. Second time, I should be writing maximum logic, and I should be finding this result. So let us start with this example. Directly, we will be using arrow function, and we are going to start with the reduce method because we have already seen how this sum will be working using normal function as well as using this reduce method. I will come below this, I will be writing sum of episodes. I will create one variable. I will give my variable name as episode sum. is equal to my array name is cartoon data. I have to use reduce method. Inside this, we are going to pass callback function. This is our first parameter. And second parameter, initial value, I'm just going to assign to 0. Now inside this callback function, I will be passing accumulator and I'm just going to pass current value. You can give any names here. Okay, it is not compulsory. You have to pass exact same name. How we have used here, it is not like that. You can give any name for these parameters. Now what I will do, using arrow function, here I am just going to write curly braces. Inside this same logic, how we have written accumulator plus is equal to current value, same way we are going to write. I will just write my accumulator plus or equal to current value. Now if I write this, it is not going to work. Why? Because at first call, my current value is this entire object. So whenever we want to access properties of object, we should be using dot operator. Now I want to access only episode. I do not want to access complete object. Now if I save and let me just display this log episode sum, save it. I got the result as undefined. Why? Because I am using blocks here. So what we have to do, we should be writing return keyword. Now save it. Now what result I got? I got 0. I got here object of object, object of object, and my accumulator is 0. Why I got this result? Because first time when my callback function is getting executed, my current value is this entire object. Okay, this entire object is my current value. But from this object, I want to access this episodes property. So whenever we want to access properties from object, we will be using dot operator. So from this current value of object, I just want to access episodes. I will just write episodes. Now if I save, you can see I got the result as 710. So you should be very careful. My current value is entire object and from that object, I am accessing this episodes. Now if I don't give this, let me remove. Now if I don't give this initial value, now my accumulator will become this entire object and then my current value will become this second object. Let me say, now again what I got, now my accumulator becomes entire object. So this entire object is displayed and my current value from there I'm just accessing this episodes. So 410 is displayed. So if I don't give initial value and my elements are object, then while accessing this, what I have to do, I just have to write like this, accumulator dot episodes. From here also, I just want to access the episodes. So I will be getting this result. But do not get confused. Always use this initial value and try to get correct result. Now this is arrow function and we are performing only one line of operation. Let me copy, comment. Below this, I will be writing this. Now you do not have to write this return keyword. And once you do not have return keyword, you do not have to mention this curly braces. And directly in one line, you can write this entire thing. And also, I will be removing semicolon from here. Again, if I save, I will be getting the same result. This is how we are going to find sum of episodes. 410 plus 310, I got 710 as my result. If you add multiple objects, according to that, you will be getting the result. Next, we should be finding maximum number of episodes. To understand how to write this logic, first we will be writing normal function, then we are going to convert into reduce method. Now I will comment this out. I will write one comment. I will write maximum. First time we will be using normal function. Then we will be using reduce method. Here I am just going to create function. I will give my function name as maximum number. Inside this, I am going to pass one parameter array max. And here initially what I will do, I will assign maximum variable to 0. I will create one variable max. I will assign the value as 0. We are working with arrays. So again, I will be using for loop. Let I is equal to 0. I is less than array max dot length. Then finally, I'm just increasing the value of I. Now inside this, what I will be doing, first let me just create my array. Const array is equal to, and inside this I'm just going to assign some values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here what happens, I will be checking for the condition if my array max, if my current value of array element, if it is greater than my max, okay, if it is greater than my max, then what I have to do, I just have to assign that value to my maximum variable. I will just write here array max of I. Okay, I will explain you what I am doing here. Then finally, at the end, I should return my maximum value. So here, what happens? First time, when I call this function, this entire array will be passed as my argument. Now inside this, I am just looping. My array length is 8. So first time, my index will be 0. So array of 0, I am having 1. If 1 is greater than 0, maximum I have assigned to 0. If 1 is greater than 0, then assign value of this one to maximum variable. Then second time, value of I is incremented, I becomes 1. So array of 1 is 2. If 2 is greater than max, now current value of maximum is 1. So 2 is greater than 1, yes it is, so assign. So again it will run, it keeps on executing, and at the end array of 7 will be 8, and 8 will be assigned to my maximum variable, and I am just returning my maximum variable. So now I'm just going to call this function directly. I will just write here log. Inside this, I'm just going to pass this maximum number, and inside this argument, I'm just passing my array. Paste it here. Now I got the result as 8. Okay, I hope you understood the logic, what we have done. We are just comparing if this value is greater than this, only then assign this value to our maximum variable. And this for loop keeps on executing unless and until my condition gets satisfied. Once my length exceeds, I will come outside of this for loop, and I am just returning my maximum value. Now in between, if I am having 11, save it. Now 11 will be my maximum, because here when my index is 3, my array value is 11 and my maximum value will be 3 here. So 11 is greater than 3. Yes, it is. So 11 will be assigned. Next time it becomes 5. 5 is greater than max. The condition fails. It will not execute. Again, value of I will be increased and it keeps on executing. And at the end, maximum value will remain 7 as it is. And at the end, maximum value will be having 11. So finally, I will be returning 11. Now what I want to do, same logic, I just want to convert into reduce method. Below this, I will write one comment. I will write using reduce method. I will write here const episode max is equal to my array is cartoon data. I will be applying reduce method, and inside this I'm going to pass callback function, and here accumulator is nothing but my initial value. Here initial value is our max. So when we compare to this example, our accumulator will be treated as this maximum value. So here let me just write maximum itself. You can give any variable as I told. Then we should be passing our current value. Our current value will be exactly same as this one. So here, let me just write here episodes max. Then we will be writing arrow function. Now inside this, we should be checking for this condition. We are writing some block of code. So we are just going to write this curly braces. And the second parameter of reduce function is initial value. I will just give as 0. Inside this, I'm going to check if here what we have done, if our current value is greater than max. So here we will check if our episodes max, if it is greater than this maximum, okay, accumulator, then what I have to do, I just have to assign maximum value to my current value. I just have to assign my accumulator. Let me just write accumulator is nothing but max. I just have to assign to this one. But this will be my object. So inside this, I just want to access episodes. So I will be writing here episodes. And here also, I'm just going to assign episodes. Okay, very simple. Once you write down slowly, then you will understand this example. And finally, we are just going to return our max. This is nothing but our accumulator. We are returning our accumulator. Now I'm just going to log episode max, save it. I got the result as 410 because from this array, I'm having two elements. First element is object, second element is object. And in this second element, I'm having maximum as 410. Now here, if I just write 800, save it. Now maximum will be 800. Let me come back. Maximum is 410. Okay, this is how we will be working with reduce method. We will take all the values from the array and we will combine and we will generate one result. Okay, we have already seen if we do not give this initial value, then this accumulator will be becoming our first element inside the array. So here you should be passing maximum dot episodes and here also you should be passing the same thing. Next, we will be seeing some exercises and examples to understand even more about reduce method. Why I am focusing on reduce method is very important in React as well as in JavaScript. This is how we will be working with reduce method. We can do more than this using reduce method, but as of now, just practice reduce method. Make yourself comfortable with reduce method. Look for multiple examples because inside this initial value, we can not only pass 0, we can pass object, we can pass arrays. So look for all those examples, try out different examples. And finally, now I will be giving you one assignment. Just practice. If you are getting the answer, you can paste in comment box so that it will be helpful for others. And this will be your assignment. Okay, same thing. We are having some object inside this arrays. Now you should be applying reduce method. Just think for a second. And now what you should do, students which are having same marks, you just have to count their numbers. And students, if they are having only one single marks, you can see one student is having 270, one student is having 290, two students are having 450, and one student is having 460. This is the assignment you have to practice. If you understood this reduce concept, then you will be able to understand this assignment and you will be able to do. But I will be giving you one hint. Our initial value will be our empty object. Now easily apply the logic and get this result. That's all for this lecture. I hope you understood reduce method. If you're having any doubts, you can comment down your doubts so that we can work together and we can resolve that issues. That's all for this lecture. Thank you for watching.